Well, good evening, good evening, good evening, everybody. Welcome back on ongoing conversations, information on how to win during challenging times. And I got to tell you, this is probably becoming one of my favorite topics to talk about. I am Rich Wall Street Williams, and I am committed to impacting the lives of 1 million sales professionals, entrepreneurs, small business owners over the next 3 years. And that's my mission in life. And my purpose in life is to get people excited and passionate about things that they cannot see. So we want to just welcome everybody that's logging in with us, whether you're watching on YouTube or you're on Facebook or you're seeing this on LinkedIn Live or Twitter. Welcome everybody. I'm going to be sharing with you how to win during challenging times, during tough times. Understand this, that no one is exempt from tough times. Nobody is exempt from tough times. Tough times will come to us all. And I've been doing this a while. I've been in real estate sales over 17 years. I've seen some tough times. Business, 15 plus years. A few years ago, I started the Momentum Coaching platform where we do our sales coaching and training and content development through. I've been distinctly blessed and honored to train, motivate, and coach over 15,000 people since 2007. I'm a graduate of Speakers Academy. I help sales professionals amass more than $153 million in production. That I'm a speaker, trainer, coach, and I like to say I'm your best friend. So tough times, challenging times, right? We all experience tough times. We all, on some level, we have to overcome. We have to learn how to win. And so these are some of the things I'm going to go through briefly tonight. This is a condensed version of a much larger webinar training that we do, but this is the condensed version. I'm going to go through it relatively fast. So do this. I'm going to talk fast, but I want you to listen slow. So what will you know? Stages of handling a setback. What is a pivot? When the pandemic hit almost 2 years ago, businesses had to pivot. And those businesses that pivot their business model, they were successful. They're still here. Some businesses didn't for whatever reason. But we'll talk a little bit about why I believe the business that had to close, why they aren't in business today. Acceptance. Wire your mind for the shift. And then the PTFAR, 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 PTFAR. I'll go through that, but I won't go through it now. I'll go through it when I get to it. So you're going to have to stay engaged for the ride. So this winning in tough times, winning in challenging times, when challenging times come, whether it is the unfortunate for many of those people that were affected by the pandemic, they lost their job. Here you're working for a company 5, 10, maybe 15 years. I don't know what the time period is. But we all heard many stories of people who lost their jobs and the challenges and struggles that follow. Here are some of the stages that psychologists say that we go through whenever we have a setback in life. There's this denial aspect of it. No, this didn't really happen to me, did it? And then as you think about it, the reality of it starts to settle in, and there's this anger piece, and then you go through bargaining. Well, it's not as bad as, or you look for ways to justify where you're at. And then the next stage is when that doesn't work, you move to a place of depression. And for many people, they got locked in depression. And friend, if you lock into a state of depression, then you release you release, or when you lock in to depression, you open up the door for decrease. Let me put it to you that way. When you lock in to depression, you open the door for decrease. But here's what psychologists say is a place where people can rebound, and that is coming to a point of acceptance. The acceptance of your situation. Because the faster that we move through acceptance of the reality of our situation, the faster we can move through the challenge. A friend of mine said, hey, if you're catching hell, don't hold it. If you're going through hell, keep moving. Don't stop. Keep moving. Keep moving. And so we understand that part of this acceptance is I need to get really honest with myself. This is the challenge. Maybe I need help. I need to assess the current situation. What's the worst case scenario about this challenge that I'm facing? What's the worst case scenario, the challenge that I'm facing in my organization? And then I got to create a plan of action. I don't just assess it. Okay, here's how I'm going to get out of this situation. Here's my plan of attack. I was reading a book on warfare. I'm interested in warfare and strategies. And I was reading in a book, and it was talking about the strategies of warfare. And one of the strategies of warfare that the enemy has is the enemy goal isn't to stop you. The goal is to stop whatever it is that you're moving towards. And so one strategy of war is to disrupt communication, knock out satellites, knock out radar, knock out what do they call them? Landing strips. Disrupt our ability to receive and send supplies. If an enemy can disrupt our communication, and then disbandment happens, and then there's confusion that could potentially happen, and then fear could set in. So you want to assess your situation, you want to create a plan, and then, friend, you want to take action. And here's what I do: I take action, and I demand results. I make a demand on the results. I make a demand on the results because I understand that I gotta make a pivot here, right? I have to do something as it relates to making a demand on the results. And this pivot occurs when a company makes a fundamental change to their business after determining, usually through market research, that their product isn't meeting the needs, or the customer flow isn't satisfactory, or they need to position themselves, right, to expand in their intended market. Companies will continue to pivot as these needs and changes, as these needs change, or the company discovers new opportunities for business. You know, one of my I wouldn't necessarily say it's a favorite restaurant, but it is a place that I do like to get some nice ribs from, and that's Mission Barbecue. There's several Mission Barbecues where I live. And one of the things that Mission Barbecue did, as well as other restaurants, is they pivot to an order online, drive-through, drive-in, pickup model. And that model sustained them. Now, I don't know across the U.S. if any Mission Barbecue went out of business. I don't have that level of detail yet. And if you're watching this broadcast and you have that level of detail, then please share it in the comments below. But we gotta understand as a business, sales professional, entrepreneur, that these tough times, these challenging times, require us to pivot. Right? It requires us to pivot, position ourselves a little differently. And so there are three things that we do when we pivot. We decide what we want. We do what we decide, and then we make a commitment to continue. That's how you pivot. You decide what you want. Now you act on what you decided, and then you commit to follow through consistently. Commitment can get you started. Consistency will keep you going. Commitment can get you started. Consistency will keep you going. And so those are the things that we do. We're making that decision. We're deciding on what we want. And then we're moving towards that thing. Let's take a look at this chart here. This breaks down deciding what you want. What does that look like? Decide what you want. What does that look like? Well, you investigate your desire. Why did you get into real estate? Or why did you start this business? Or why did you join the organization that you are currently a part of? And then you implement the behavior that's going to support the reason why you got into business, the reason why you joined the organization, etc. I hope this is making sense. So you got to implement the behavior. Now, in a training environment, when I do training in sales development environment, it's real easy. It's the PDR, practice, drill, rehearse, the PDR. P, Paul, D, Douglas, P, Paul, practice, drill, PDP, PDR. Practice, drill, rehearse. You practice, drill, rehearse. You practice, drill, rehearse. When you practice, drill, and rehearse, you become confident, you become competent, and you sound natural, or you behave natural. When you practice, drill, and rehearse, you become confident, and you become competent, and you sound natural. And now I can incorporate my beliefs into the behavior that I'm building on. Beliefs are important. So every now and then, every once in a while, every blue moon, as my mom uses every blue moon, what the heck is that? Right? Ask yourself, what do you believe about blank? We want to unravel. We don't just want to settle in. Belief is important. Belief systems are important. Let's talk a little bit about what that means and what does that look like. So we're plugging into this long term. We establish a belief system. We practice, drill, rehearse. We're confident, competent, and we're sounding natural, right? Now we're plugging into long term. What does it mean to plug into something long term? Understand that there's two types of activities in your business. You're working in your business, and you're also working on your business. Let me say that again. You are working in your business, and you're also working on your business. So you decide and you move in action. You have no reservation, and you are committed. You don't try to be successful. You be successful. You don't try to be successful. You be successful. Listen, let me show you what it looks like for someone to try and be someone trying to be successful. This is what it looks like. If I had okay. So let's pretend you and I were talking, and I was going to hand you this device. I was going to hand you this. This is actually a speaker that we use for camping. But anyway, so I was going to hand you this device. So the example I would do if we were in a live audience right now, I would hand this to you, and I would tell you, I want you to try to hand this to me. I want you to try and hand it back. And usually what the person does is and I said, and they go like this, right? They'll hand it towards you. No, I want you to try to hand it to me. And they'll go like this. No, I don't think you understand what I'm asking you to do. What I'm saying is I want you to try to hand that to me. And guess what they'll do? They'll do it again, right? They're trying to hand it back to me. That looks crazy. I'm trying to hand this back. You don't try success, you do success. So trying to hand this back is not actually handing it back, right? As long as I am trying to hand this back, I will never hand this back. I'm going to try and be successful. You don't try to be successful. You be successful. Now, success is interpreted different ways. Earl Nightingale said that success is the progression towards a worthy goal and or idea. Success is the progress towards a worthy goal and or idea. But you got ultimately what I'm suggesting is that you got to long term make have no reservations, and you have to be committed to the decision that you're making. Now, whenever I think commitment, I think breakfast. The chicken is involved in our breakfast. The pig is committed. There's involvement and then there's commitment. The chicken is involved. They lay the eggs. But once we say we want bacon, guess what? That pig, I know it's graphic. Some of you are grossed out. Maybe you don't like that example. It's okay. I understand. But I believe you understand where I'm going. When I talk about wiring your mind for this winning in tough times and challenging times, you got to wire your mind, man. You got to resolve to make it. Post affirmations. Speak well over your situation. Affirmations are future conversations today. Affirmations are having a future conversation today. Affirmations are future conversations that I'm having today. Okay, let me give you an example. I am grateful and thankful for serving 1 million sales professionals, entrepreneurs, and small business owners. I am thankful and grateful for serving 1 million sales professionals, entrepreneurs, and small business owners. Have you served 1 million yet, Rich? No, I haven't. But I'm thankful and grateful that I am serving. See, that's a future conversation that I'm having today. I'm affirming, I'm speaking out what I want, and I'm committing and wiring my mind for that success. So when I think of wiring mind, this is the PTFAR, PTFAR, PTFAR. PTFAR, 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 programming, thinking, feeling, actions, results. Programming, feeling, right? Programming, thinking, feeling, action, results. That's PTFAR. Programming the mind. Choosing patterns or way to think. Navigating and understanding my feelings. You know that there's a new category of measuring effective leadership, and that is emotional intelligence. Emotionally, how do I respond during tough times and challenging times as a leader? I can tell you this, friend, that if you're the leader of an organization, if you're a leader of a sales team, you're the leader in your home. If you're the leader in your home, and when I say leader in your home, it's men and or women are leaders in the home, right? And you check out emotionally, there's going to be a void in your organization of leadership. And when there's a void of leadership in any organization, then dissension, discouragement, confusion will set in. So, friends, you cannot afford to check out if you're planning on winning during tough and challenging times. You cannot do it. Programming, thinking the way that I feel, and then I got to take action, and then I'm going to make a demand or have an expectation of the results. right? So let's deep dive that programming just for a second. This is real technical, right? Programming is the process of creating a set of instructions that tell the mind how to perform a task and think. What are you currently thinking? Investigate that. Understand that you tell you what to think. You know, I discovered that some thoughts aren't for me to take. My brain to throw a thought at me. Some thoughts aren't for me to take. Like, for example, I work in D.C. and there are times when I'm leaving my office and there are aggressive drivers. Not all, but there are some aggressive drivers in D.C. And I may get cut off by an aggressive driver. And there may be a thought that hit my mind that, hey, why don't you cuss that person out? Give them a piece of your mind. Now, I think more highly of myself than to curse out or cuss out another individual. I choose to manage my emotions. And so that thought I won't take. You can pick and choose what thought to take. You tell you what to think. I tell myself what to think. So when that happens, one of the things I think is this person is in a hurry. He or she may not be aware of their actions. I pray they get to their next destination safely. See, I'm telling myself what to think and how to respond. Because understand this, what's currently in my life reflects what's in my mind. What I presently have in my life, what you presently have in your life is what's in your mind. Heavy duty, right? Hey, I'm just highlighting some things on what to think. Programming. Thinking is cognitive activities you use to process information, solve problems, make decisions, and create new ideas. We become what we consistently think about. We become what we consistently think about. We become what we consistently think about. Therefore, our outcome and income is greatly determined by what we become. So success is something that we attract by thinking like the person we want to become. You got to get a picture. You got to get a blueprint. You got to get an ideal. You have to get information on the person that you want to look like, the person that you want to become, right? And then you start doing the things, you put in place the behavior, you choose the right thoughts that supports the person that you want to become. And success, or the thing that we pursue, we attract it into our lives, friend. I'm telling you, this is really exciting. And I love going through this type of information to help sales professional, entrepreneurs, and small business owners. And so feeling is not right or wrong. It's just an emotional state or reaction. Since feelings are reaction, we can now choose how we feel. We can choose to feel angry. We can choose to feel happy. We can choose to feel worried. We can choose to feel shocked. We can choose to feel sad. We can choose to feel loved. We can choose to feel confused or shy or excited. Thankful people will always experience more positive events in their life than unthankful people. Thankful people will always experience more positive events in their lives than unthankful people. So you got to pick and choose. Understand that your feelings are not right or wrong. They're just simply the way that you feel. But you are in control and you can choose how you want to feel. Right? Programming, thinking, feeling, actions, results, put for, PTFAR. So action is a manner of, or style of doing something, typically the way in which a mechanism works or a person moves. Actions are so powerful that the way we do anything is the way that we do everything. The way that we do anything is the way that we will do everything. You got to have that time on task. Got to be committed to doing this task. Action is committed to doing this task. Expecting the results to show. Expecting the results to show up. Put a fire. Programming, thinking, feeling, actions, and results, consequences, or effects, or the outcome of something. I can do nothing or I can do something. There's always a harvest attached to what I do or what I don't do. I personally believe in the spiritual law that we reap exactly what we sow. If you sow nothing, you're going to reap nothing. If you sow something, you reap something. If you sow good, you reap good. If you sow bad, you reap bad. And so what I try to do is, because I'm committed and I'm connected to my results, whenever I take an action or I'm contemplating an action, I want to see the end of that action at the beginning. I want to see what's the consequences of this action at the beginning and not at the end. See, consequences to me, they're not good or bad. Consequences are just simply results. So you got to see the end, learn to see the end at the beginning. Got to learn to see the end at the beginning. That's how we roll with this. So listen, I just want to jump on here and take, 25 or 30 minutes and just share some winning strategies, how to win during tough times and challenging times. You got to understand that none of us are exempt from tough times. None of us are exempt from challenging times, right? So we all have to understand where we are going, right? We got to understand that these challenging times, they aren't necessarily here to stay, right? Tough times aren't necessarily here to stay, but we got to understand that you and I are equipped and we are empowered and we can make a difference in our business, in our organization, with our families, in our communities. Everywhere we go, friend, you and I, we can make a difference. So those are just some keys, some ideas, some thoughts, some strategies on how to overcome tough times, how to overcome challenging times. I'm Rich Wall Street Williams, man. I'm so glad that you took some time to hang out with me this afternoon. Always remember this. Believing that you can is way more profitable than believing that you can't. I'll see you.